Small independent grocery stores have emerged as the big winners from the current supply chain crisis plaguing the country. Joining me live is Minister for Agriculture, David Littleproud. Great to see you this morning, Minister.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, National Cabinet met last week. It announced thousands of workers in critical industries have had close contact isolation rules relaxed. That's certainly in the bid to solve the country's growing supply chain crisis. But some of the bigger winners, the independent stores.
Yeah, they are. In fact, even my little independent store just down the road here is nearly fully stocked. They have different supply chains, and so they actually aren't as impacted as what the major grocery stores have been. But it's important to understand and appreciate from everybody that panic buying is exacerbating this problem. So it's important that when you go to the supermarket, you only get what you need. You just do your normal shop, because if you don't, you're actually putting more pressure on these supply chains to regain the traction they've had. And we're expecting over the next couple of weeks, as we get through the peak of Omicron, that this will really start to ease. And also with respect to the rat tests, being able to make sure, complemented with the decision out of National Cabinet finally to get some agreement between the states, that we'll start to see some normality. But everyone has a role to play in this. We're just saying to people, don't panic buy.
Absolutely. The supply is on its way. We're also seeing so many events being cancelled due to the latest wave. This week, you announced round 2 of the agricultural shows and field days program. Tell us about that.
Yeah, look, over the last 2 years, we've put out over $80 million to support our agricultural shows and field days. They only get one crack at getting income every year. And when COVID has taken that away, their fixed bills keep on coming. Their fixed costs are always there, their rent, their rates, their electricity. So what we've done as a federal government is said we'll step in and we'll pay those fixed costs for you so that you can run a show or a field day next year. And it's important. Over 50,000 volunteers across the country are in the ag show movement. And this is just a token of our gesture of appreciation for their hard work in not just showcasing agriculture, but our local communities. So it goes from anywhere from $10,000 to $70,000 to these small shows. And we've also looked after the big royals, because we've seen the Ekka shut down for the last 2 years, Adelaide and Melbourne. We've been able to give them significant financial support, because that's the connection between the city and the bush. And to be able to do that with significant money has been a big help to those show societies.
Absolutely. And we just heard as well the Tamworth Country Music Festival, the 50th one, was postponed and now on in April. It's actually going to be on the same time as the Elvis Festival in Parkes. We had the Mayor of Parkes on earlier, dressed up in his Elvis outfit. But they're clashing, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Now, in terms of what's happening today, Minister, a tsunami alert has been issued for parts of the East Coast after the volcano in Tonga erupted. People in the coastal areas of New South Wales, Victoria, southern Queensland and also Tasmania have been advised to stay away from the beaches. Tell us about the warnings and how concerned we should be.
Yeah, we just can't be complacent on this. The warnings are out, and we're just saying to people it's a matter of hours before the Bureau will be able to make further assessments and be able to give further information. But until then, you've got to use the precautionary principle. You've got to get the hell out of the way. You've got to do what you've been asked to do, because otherwise you put emergency service personnel at risk who might have to come in the event that we do get significant surges. So we've just got to play this safe. It's only a matter of hours. And we're just saying if you can do that, we'll be able to make sure we keep everyone safe. But if you get away up to a kilometre and make sure that you're out of the water, then you've done your bit. And we also think of obviously those people in Tonga today. DFAT are working through with our officials in Tonga to make sure any support we can provide our Pacific family, we will be there, and we'll be there shoulder to shoulder with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought so with them, as you mentioned. And we just spoke to our meteorologist, Rob Sharp, and he's told us of the latest warnings here in Australia. So I believe it's the marine tsunami warning for southeast Queensland right down to the east coast, and the land warning for Norfolk and Lord Howe Island. But of course, as you mentioned, we'll be updating people throughout the morning. Thank you very much for your time, as always, Minister for Agriculture, David Littleproud. Talk to you again soon.
Thanks for having me.